Hi everybody, thank you very much for joining me on this latest video and taking time out of your busy day on this bank holiday weekend. About 2.5 years ago, I was given a job lot of records by a friend of the family. Their father sadly passed away. Now he was in his 70s, and we did do a thing on the LPs, but then there's a big box that had got all singles and a few DVDs and CDs and even some cassette tapes in it. So I was looking through the cassette tapes today because I can't remember ever actually looking through this box. Um, and there's some interesting stuff in it. There was some rubbish in there, don't get me wrong. I mean, this was the box. That was the box. And if you look very closely, you'll see some of the stuff that's behind me, or you might not if I did it well enough. So the mundane stuff, like your Johnny Mathises and your Rod Stewarts, and your things like that, I've kept to one side. But I've got a few out. Well, I say few. There's all, all these here, and I thought we'd take a look at these together because they do look to be slightly worth keeping, if that makes sense. The first one is David Bowie, Absolute Beginners. Now, I'm not 100% sure whether I've got this on single or not. It is a jukebox copy, and that looks in really, really nice condition. So, why his dad had got some of these, I don't know, because I think his dad was more sort of like into country and western. He did like Status Quo and things like that as well, and like 70s rock. But a lot of this is more sort of like 80s and 90s, like this one here, Jesus Jones. Who can remember Jesus Jones? Includes free postcard, which I think it does, but out there. And this is the right destination. I mean, I don't know if these are worth anything or not. I just thought it was worth sharing with you. And that whoever bought that, they paid 99 pence for it all those years ago. Uh, then we've got the Prodigy. You can remember the Prodigy. Probably best known for the Five Starter, aren't they? This is on XO Records, and this is Outer Space. Do, 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 do. And the funny thing about Outer Space is, I went to see Madness, well, many years ago now, when they'd just done the Sessions Man LP, and they actually did a version of this. Um, and when they started it, everybody thought they were taking the Mickey, but they did actually play that all the way through. Um, so that might actually be worth it because that looks in really, really nice condition, although it hasn't got the original sleeve to it. So these probably will be worth keeping and cleaning up. Um, then there's this one, the Toy Dolls, Nelly the Elephant. You can remember that? That was one of those songs where everybody used to slag this off to high hell, saying it was crap and everything else. But when you was at a party around about Christmas, if this came on and you'd had a few beers, everybody would actually get up and dance to this. Um, I think they are still going. This is on Volume Records. Nelly the Elephant. Pack the trunk and say goodbye to the circus. Off she went with the trumpety trump, 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 trump. And then B-side is Fisticuffs in Frederick Street. Again, looks in pretty nice condition. The cover's probably seen better days, to be honest, but as we've said before on this channel, you don't play the cover, do you? Then we've got Transvision Vamp. Baby, I don't care. There was actually a good band. I think she's still going, isn't she? This was probably their biggest hit, to be honest. Baby, I don't care. And if I remember rightly, the video was a bit, shall we say, risque for the time. I mean, when did this come out? 1989. Yeah, if it's only got played on Top of the Pops and things like that, and the chart show and everything, I don't think they get away with it today. Or maybe they would. Maybe nobody'd battered bloody Arlid now. But yeah, it was very risque, the video, but a fantastic song. Really is a fantastic song. Then we've got World Party. Is this? Is it like today? And the B side is basically. That's from 1983, I think. Was it from 1993? 1983, I think. That's not in too bad a condition. Some of the covers have started to like curl up at the edge, but I think it's because they've been in that box for years and years and years. When I got these, they was already in this box, and I think I did have a quick look through when I first got them, a few years ago. Uh, this is an interesting one. You might like this if you're watching. Nick's Vinyl Butty. I Love the Sound of Breaking Glass by Nick Lowe. Now I know I haven't got this on a single, got on CD somewhere. That's quite nice. I think these are the ones that are more interesting than like Peter, Paul and Mary and things like that, and Fleetwood Mac and I'm on about Fleetwood Mac. The popular version of Fleetwood Mac. Banana Rama even with Nathan Jones, produced by Stock Aitken and Waterman. It was their first ever single, wasn't it? Produced by Paul Cook out of the Sex Pistols. We had something to do with it. 1988 that was. And the B-side on that is Once in a Lifetime. You know what I mean about the covers? The covers a bit. And then there's this one. Now, how many of you used to watch Doctor Who when you was growing up? Well, this is the theme tune to it. It's a slightly different version because it's not by the people that did it, but this is Doctor Who by Mankind. Motor Records, Pinnacle Records. If I remember rightly, that is actually quite a good rendition of that. Well, I think it is. Another one for you punk stroke new wave sort of people. Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick, Ian Join the Blockheads. 1978 on Stiff Records. And the B-side to this was, and this is what's called, I'm not being nasty when I say it, there ain't half been some clever bastards. Would you get away with that today? Probably. I was watching the telly, I think it was last night, and something came on, an advert, and I swore that they said the F word in it. Uh, so now we've got R.E.M. Everybody Hurts. Whatever happened to R.E.M? Because they didn't fall out. I think they just said they'd had enough and they wanted to go out on high, didn't they? When is that from? 1993, I think. It says. It's 1993. Yeah, 1993. Again, looks like it's hardly ever been played. And that was £1.99 from HMV. How much is a single nowadays? Can you still buy singles? Another one from R.E.M. The side Winder Sleeps. That's a good nick. 1992, I think this one is. Yeah, 1992. Warner Brothers Records. Good band they weren't they, R.E.M? Well, I think they were. Not got any of their albums, to be honest, but who's this one? Who's this one? Oh, you too. Who's going to ride your wild horses? And on the B side of this is Paint It Black, the old Rolling Stones song. Never knew they did a version of that. See, I'm learning something, folks. I'm showing you these. Even this old geezer here is learning things. Bangles, Eternal Flame. Yeah, it sold in its millions, didn't it? This probably on the old CBS label. Again, it looks in really nice condition, to be fair. I think these are worth probably cleaning up at some point and going through the rest of them as well. The Proclaimers, who can remember these? The Proclaimers. I'm going to be 500 miles. So I could be 500 miles and I would walk 500. See, when these came out, vinyl was coming to an end, wasn't it, I suppose? So I don't know how many of these were actually pressed. Doctor and the Medic, Spirit in the Sky. When I die, I'm the lay me to rest. I think these are still going, aren't they? And the B side of this is Laughing at the Pieces, which I think was the name of their album, wasn't it? Remember rightly. 1986. I think this got to #1 in the UK charts, didn't it? Good song, or good version of the song, shall we say? Going to be correct. Then we've got. How many of you know this one? What's the matter, you? Hey, what you got to do? Diddly diddy dee, diddy. Ah, shut up your face. That's this song. Joe Dulce Music Theatre. Didn't this keep Vienna off #1, if I remember rightly? And that kept a very, very famous song off #1, didn't it? Not again, not everybody's cup of tea. I just think it's quite funny, that one. Because he was actually a actor, wasn't he? Bit of Duran Duran, Come Undone. My daughter loves Duran Duran. I used to like early Duran Duran, to be honest. On the Parlophone label, 1993, I think that says on there. It's a nice condition, that. When you come undone. Classed as their comeback single, wasn't it? Although really they've never been away. Texas, I Don't Want a Lover. I Just Need a Friend. 1989, that was. Then we've got Beautiful Girl by Inks in Excess. A big Australian band, weren't they? In a gatefold sleeve. Again, that's in quite nice condition. 1992. He was found dead in mysterious circumstances, wasn't he, the lead singer? And then we've got these. I don't know if you can remember these. This is like Old Gold, which was like a budget label that used to reissue old singles. Sometimes you get the same person on the A side and the B side, but most times it was one person on the A side, another act on the B side. So this is the Big Bopper with Chantilly lace, a little place, diddle it do, and I do. And then on the B side, you've got Freddie Bell and the Bellboys, Giddy Up a Ding Dong. I suppose that's going to be worth a lot of money, is it? But I don't think I've got a Chantilly lace on single. The Bluebells, Young at Heart. Young at heart, you're so young at heart, you're so young at heart. 1984, that came out originally. Although I think this is a reissue because, if I remember rightly, they used, yeah, it says it on here, they used it for Volkswagen commercial and then it got re-released. Limited edition includes coloured postcard, that's not in it. Big Country, Ships, Where Were You? Um, I think if I remember rightly, two of the members of Big Country were actually in Skids. Stuart Adamson and the other guitar player, I think. That's a nice condition. And the sleeves okay on that one. Then we've got Black Box, Ride on Time remix. That was played everywhere in the 90s. What was the 90s, wasn't it? Every pub or club you went in used to play this. "1989" it came out. I think it was a hit the year after in the early 90s. So yeah, and I think the person that they used on the video wasn't the proper singer or something like that, wasn't it? Then we've got Jane Wilden, Rush Hour. Of course, she was in the Go Go's, wasn't she? Probably her biggest hit, wasn't it? This 1987. Yeah, nice. Then we've got Kim Wilde, You Came, MCA Records. 1988, that was. I was 22 then. Then we've got David Crosby of the Byrds and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young fame, uh, featuring Phil Collins, Hero. Never heard of it. So I don't know if this is good or not. It's on Atlantic. It's in quite nice condition. So I don't know. Does anybody know what that sounds like? Uh, Charles and Eddie, Would I Lie to You? They were sort of like a one-hit wonder in the UK, weren't they? Would I lie to you, baby? Would I lie to you? Oh yeah. Capital, and then it says Stateside, 1992. Capitol Records. Didn't one of these die? I can't remember now. Yaz, Stand Up for Your Love Rights. Um, Snap, Rhythm is a Dancer. Again, that was everywhere in the clubs and everything, and pubs. Every pub we went in used to have that on. Then there's this one, which is It's Getting Better. Now, this isn't in very good condition, but I think with a good clean, it will be getting better. And it's Mama Cass, with the Mamas and the Papas fame. And on the B side of that is Who's to Blame, 1969. So that's a nice one to have. Then we've got an Apple record. My Sweet Lord by George Harrison. Again, this isn't in brilliant condition, but it is the solid centre, and it's got what they call the payload in there. I don't know if you can see it, with What Is Life on the B side. So I think in America you got Apple Scruffs as the B side for this, didn't you? If I remember rightly. Mark Ullman, Something's Got Hold of My Heart. Featuring Gene Pitney, who sung it originally. 1988. Something's gotten hold of my heart, making my soul like a meaning to love. So that's actually quite a good song. Then there's this one. Now the name rings a bell, but I couldn't tell you anything about this band. Alice in Chains. Uh, Them Bones. It's on a nice label. Columbia. Don't know when it was released, but that's in nice condition. He says, shaking as he's trying to put the Record back in its sleeve. How many of you can remember this one? Apache Indian. He was sort of very, very big, and then he just disappeared, didn't he, all of a sudden? And I think that's still got the stickers with it. Just say includes 3 stickers. Although why you'd want stickers of him, I don't know. Wind your body, wiggle your belly. That was his most popular hit, wasn't it, I think. It is on Ireland. Label. Again, probably not worth anything really, is it? Unless you're into this sort of music. Uh, another one of the jokey ones. Captain Sensible, out of the punk band The Damned, had a #1 in the UK with Happy Talk. Happy, 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 happy talk. Do 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 do. Talk about things you'd like to do. And on the B side is I Can't Stand It. Not too bad condition. With the original R.E.M company sleeve. E17, deep. Let Loose. Who can remember Let Loose? Crazy for You. Then we've got Level 42, Lessons in Love. Again, very, very popular song. Got very high in the charts. But I can't ever remember my mate's dad listening to things like this. That's why I don't know where he's got the records from. Unless he just used to go to car boots and pick things up. Lamont, Never Ending Story. He was the original lead singer in Kajagoogoo, who had a big hit with Too Shy. 1984, that is. Then we've got Luchi Lou and Machi One, Shout. Again, this was quite a big seller and was always being played on the radio and things like that. A nice condition. Not exactly my cup of tea, to be honest, but Annie Lennox, Little Bird, from the HMV shop, 199. That's not bad condition, actually. Julian Lennon, Too Late for Goodbyes. Cyndi Lauper, I Drove All Night. I drove all night. Didn't Roy Orbison do a version of that as well? Uh, Lenny Kravitz, Are You Going My Way? Very colourful sleeve, isn't it? Virgin, 1983. And needs a good clean. Lenny Kravitz, Believe. Believe album version and Believe acoustic version. Uh, I used to love this song when I was a teenager. Falco, Rock Me Amadeus. And the video to this was brilliant. I used to love the video. In fact, I think I liked the video and that got me into liking the song, if that makes sense. 1985. Didn't he die in a motorbike crash or something? I know he wasn't very old when he passed away. But if you've never seen that video, check it out. I'm sure it's streaming on YouTube somewhere. So I would remember my mate's dad listening to stuff more like this. Frank Sinatra even. Strangers in the Night. Strangers in the Night. It does need a good clean. And the B-side of that is my kind of town. That's Stereo MCs, ground level. Linda Carlisle, Circles in the Sand. Suede, Animal Nitrate. I bet that might be worth a bit on single. Don't know. Gav Axman Spins. Uh, Whiter Shade of Pale, The Bangles. Sly Fox, Let's Go All the Way. Again, that was always on in the clubs. Too Unlimited, No Limit. No, 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 no. Yoko Ono. Slade, Run, Run Away. 2-track stereo, 1-track mind. It's the B-side. Roachford, Cuddly Toy, again. Very, very popular song back in the day. Phil Everly and Cliff Richard, She Means Nothing to Me. Fantastic song, very, very overlooked that is. Right Said Fred, Deeply Dippy. Faith No More, Easy. Well, it was like a rock band, wasn't it? Oh, that's nice. That's actually on red vinyl. Oh, nice. These don't fall over. New Order, Regret. Then we've got Buzzbox, International Rescue. Of course, they started out as like a punk band, and it was we've got a fuzz box and we're going to use it. Wasn't that like a Thunderbirds film or something? Am I getting confused there? Guns N' Roses, Yesterdays. The House Martins, Caravan of Love. Van Halen, Live, Jump. Because didn't Eddie Van Halen die recently? Um, Ultravox, Vienna. Damien, The Time Warp. Again, everybody used to hate this song, but at Christmas time, when you had a few bevers, everybody used to dance to it. Def Leppard, Tonight. There's some nice actual songs in it, isn't there? That is in nice condition. I'll try to make this as quick as I can. Then a few more to go now. The Rhythmics, Thorn in My Side, brilliant song. The Rhythmics, When Tomorrow Comes, again, brilliant song. Then you've got Blue Mink, Melting Pot. Stereo MCs, Step It Up. Step it up, step it up. That used to get a lot of airplay as well, didn't it? Good nick, though. Snow, Informer. Whatever happened to Snow? Informer. Then we've got Ugly Kid Joe, Cats in the Cradle. I love that song, Cats in the Cradle. Always reminds me of my dad. 1981, does that say? 1991. Oh, the cat's in the cradle with the silver spoon. Little dog laughed at the man in the moon. George Harrison, Got My Mind Set on You. Hey, that's the silver injected label. That's nice. Don't think I've got that one on a silver injected label. Back when we was fab, then the sleeves a bit on that one. Shaggy, Oh Carolina. Oh, Carolina, Bob-omb. Again, that used to be on everywhere. Salt and pepper, twist and shout. In a circle, sweat, la 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 la. Beautiful South, you keep it all in. And then another one by the Beautiful South, a song for whoever. I used to love this song. Um, oh Deborah, oh Billy Bird, oh oh Sue, 1989. I love you from the bottom of my pencil case. So what do you think, folks? I mean, these have cost me pennies. Like I say, I've had them. It was before I got married, so I've had them for well over 2 years. And today's the first day I've really had time to look at these. And these are probably some of the most interesting ones out of it. There's other stuff in there like Shaking Stevens and things like that. A lot of Bee Gees, bit like the disco Bee Gees, Rod Stewart, and things like that. So I think they're okay. So thank you once again for taking your time out of your busy schedule to watch an old geezer, an old geezer, old geezer, you know what I mean? Uh, Showing you some records and reminiscing about things. That's the beauty of records, isn't it? Even singles, you can like, oh yeah, I can remember that being played at so and so. Time machines, aren't they? Remember, you are the Beatle Dave. Don't forget, play your records, love your records, cherish your records. From time to time, you have to clean your records, but they're worth it, aren't they? And I've really enjoyed looking at these. I am going to go through the rest of them now just to make sure there's nothing else that I've missed out. But like I say, 2 years, over 2 years for me to look at those. And I only looked at them today because I knew there was some cassettes in it, which I've found. But I don't think there's anything that I'm really going to play that's in the cassette. So once again, thank you all for joining me. Whatever you're doing, please stay safe. And remember, Beatle Dave loves you. Cheer, everybody. If you've liked this video, just give me a thumbs up. And if you want to leave a comment about any of the records that I've shown, please do. So until the next time, it's bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Cheers.